Check, 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 check.
Yeah, how's my audio from over here?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Try speaking directly into the mic.
Hello.
Oh, that sounds way better.
Sito Elbert Bae. Wow, this is a weird start to an intro, but let's just quickly introduce our podcast name as Slightly Burnt Toast. Maybe we should practice this next time.
Welcome to a Slightly Burnt Toast.
Mm-hmm.
I am Samantha.
And Albert.
And we are married. We've been married for how long? Like 2 years?
Yeah, a little over 2 years, but basically 10 considering how long we've been together.
Yeah, we've been together 10 years, and then we've been married for 2 of those 10 years.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
And just for everyone who's tuning in, this is our first time filming a podcast. We have one microphone and
recording a podcast.
Whatever. We are literally joined at the hip, like literally smushed together. First take that we did, the audio just didn't pick up. So now we're really literally sticking our faces together against this microphone. TMI. I feel like we should tell them a little bit about ourselves. I am a content creator / influencer, and I really like taking photos and videos of fashion. I've been in the content creation space for about 10 years, and during that time I'm also a marketing specialist. So I've worked in different industries, specifically on social media and digital marketing. So meshing both worlds, I get to do the content creation for my own personal brand, which I totally love. Lots of video stuff, lots of photos. So if you guys are on Instagram, maybe you follow me already, maybe you don't. How about you, honey?
That was so detailed.
Thank you.
I don't have a lot to say as much as, Sam. But in a nutshell, I work a 9 to 5, and then I just call it quits. Okay. I make my money as a software engineer. That's just what I do right now. Who knows that's what I'll do later on in the future. But I'm like the type of guy that has bounced around from job to job looking for something that will keep me engaged. And software engineering is where I arrived at. So I just code, I work with teams, build applications for something that somebody thinks will make a lot of money, and then we just go from there. And then as soon as 5 o'clock hits, I just say, I'm a salaried man, goodbye, and then I just sign off.
I think you forgot a very important aspect of what you do. You have your 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5, which is full-time Instagram husband.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, yes. That was a package deal with Sam. As soon as I started dating her, it had to be. I don't get paid for it. It's a volunteer role.
Oh, well, I pay you with love and adoration.
Yeah, but I can't eat love and adoration.
Well, it sustains your soul. You're really good at it. You have 10 years worth of practice. People look at my stuff and they're like, wow, who took your photos? And I'm like, Albert.
Yeah. 10 years worth of practice definitely goes a long way. I don't know. You know what? It's fun. If you like doing it, I like doing it.
Aw, that's cute. You're just secretly dying inside.
No, I'm not dying at all. Anyway, let's just talk a little bit more about what Slightly Burnt Toast is actually supposed to be about.
We just came up with this, like.
we were just talking about, what would a cool name be? And someone took the name Burnt Toast, which, whatever. But we were like, let's just make a slightly burnt toast because we don't have to go all the way.
Yeah, literally just before we hit record, Albert was like, burnt toast, slightly burnt toast, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, you know what? That actually sounds pretty good. I mean, it's fun.
Well, all right. What is the burnt toast theory?
Okay, that's a really good question. So I didn't know about this, and I have been on TikTok just browsing stuff for years. But apparently on TikTok, there's something called the burnt toast theory. And I'm just like, what? Basically, in a nutshell, TLDR, burnt toast theory is basically the idea of, hey, say you wake up in the morning and you put toast in the toaster and then it burns and you're like, crap, now I'm going to be late for work. But because your toast burnt that morning, you inadvertently didn't get into a car accident.
I think you skipped out the part where you spend time to make another toast.
Right, yes, because you're hungry and it's in the morning and you need to eat breakfast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this whole fad started from, the Marvel's timeline
of, different universes.
It's too much, but I get it. I get what they're saying, but...
Well, I haven't even got to the part where, what the theory is. I just told you the context of it.
That is... Well, I don't know if there's a theory.
Okay,
Like, no one's going to be able to prove that this thing exists.
Yeah, it's just a TikTok theory, but I love it because the whole idea behind this is redirection, right? So because you burnt your toast that morning and you had to spend an extra 10 minutes or whatever to have your breakfast, you were redirected in life. So instead of getting into a car accident, something else happened. So it saved you from a bigger calamity. And I think that's actually really cool as someone who does believe in being mindful of the choices that we make. And like when something doesn't work out, when a door closes, another door opens. I love it. And so I think the idea of like the burnt toast theory, it's really great because things can happen in your life and you can choose to react sad to it or mad, or you can choose to look at the positives of it.
In this case, you wouldn't know what the positive is because you would never know what would happen.
Yeah,
anyway.
but that's just like the theory, right? Like when one door closes, another one opens. Mm-hmm. So the slightly added into this really is just, I don't know, it's funny.
Yeah, okay, let's not get too serious. I have a tendency to go like too deep into stuff. Fuck it. Slightly burned toast. It's gonna stick.
Totally. But you know what? I think a lot of the things that we'll talk about on this podcast is going to be in relationships, right? We want to really break this perception of, when you're on social media and you see these Instagram couples and like we are honestly like, at least on my account, like we're one of them where we show the highs in our relationship. We like to have fun. We put some comedy up there. But you know what? It's not always roses all the time. And there's this perception sometimes when you're in a relationship and you watch other people in a relationship where you're like, oh, wow, they have such a great relationship. And then you kind of compare. You fall into that comparison cycle. And we really just want to have honest conversations with each other on this podcast because we disagree probably like 7 out of 10 times.
Okay, that's a lot. No.
Okay, fine.
Not
6
that
out. We're disagreeing now.
50-50. We agree on stuff and we disagree on other stuff. But most of the time I agree with her just because it's not worth the argument.
Hey, but you also agree. I'm just I'm sharing a new way for you to think. But anyway, Slightly Burned Toast.
She's trying to change me.
Is a podcast where we really just wanted to start something together. And for the longest time, we're like, is it a business? Just something that we can do together that will enrich our lives and just share the funny conversations because we have so many funny conversations, just the two of us.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll have certain takes that we talk about which other people might disagree with, and Sam and I don't agree on everything, so let's just talk about all that and we're cool with it.
Yeah, we
disagree with me, agree with me, I don't care.
Yeah,
I mean, I care.
Disagree, for
You're
sure.
Gonna crush my spirit if you disagree with me. No, I'm just kidding.
You'll be slightly burnt toast.
Yeah, I'll be slightly burnt toast. Yes, exactly.
a bit charred on the outside but still tasty on the inside.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Thank you. I just came up with it.
Cool.
Also, just a fun fact with you guys. The reason we're so obsessed with toast, I don't even like toast. Albert does. But
I mean,
we'll dive into this a little bit more in this episode. But the first time we met, we were working at the same job together. And one of the first conversations we've had was toasting a woman.
that was not.
That was the conversation.
That was not one of the first conversations.
Yes,
this was into our relationship.
No. We were talking about animals that eat each other, like the female eats the male.
What the hell does that have to do with toasting a woman?
Then I think you said something about the guys get turned on really fast. I'm like, no, for a woman you need to it's like toast. You gotta put it in the toaster. You gotta.
We did not have this song.
Okay,
this was
anyway.
at least a year into our maybe not a year, a few months into a relationship.
Whatever.
But I'm not about to talk to some girl. I'm like, how do I turn you on? What?
How do I toast you?
No. But we did definitely. It wasn't one of our first. One of our first, but not the first. But we did definitely talk about animals in a weird male-female dynamic in the animal kingdom. And it was just all kinds of weird.
It wasn't that weird.
I mean,
It was very stimulating.
Was it?
Yeah.
We were at one point we were talking about anglerfish, about how the male just becomes a parasite and attaches onto the female, and then basically the only thing important about the male fish was the reproductive organ. So we just get absorbed until that's all that's remaining, and then we just become a freeloader.
Have you ever seen an anglerfish?
Yeah, they're pretty ugly.
They're really ugly.
I would love to eat one though, if it's possible to eat one.
It might be poisonous.
I don't. Yeah, okay, then yeah. You know, maybe one of the listeners will know about fish and they'll give me some hints.
You know what's fascinating, though? When you think about the animal kingdom, and I'm really just jumping into this right now because I just thought of it. When you think about the animal kingdom, isn't it hilarious how all the female versions, all the females are pretty darn ugly or just bland, and then you have the males who are like peacocks with like these beautiful, colorful feathers, or they're just like doing everything they can to charm the woman.
Okay, I mean, that part's not too different. Women wanted equality, so we expect a little bit of reciprocation where you put some of that effort into charming us.
Yeah, but we're not talking about humans. We're talking about animals.
Well,
like
same.
Some male animals, they like dance around being like, notice me. Eat me.
Wow. Okay. And no, I get what you're saying. Basically, all I heard was males are fucking fabulous and we put a lot of effort in.
Totally.
And we're beautiful. Mm-hmm. Whereas
you are beautiful.
Female birds are ugly, gray, dull colored, and they just go, nah. And then they move on. And every once in a while, one will be like, I've said no too many times. You'll do.
She's just walking. She's like, nah.
All right.
And then she gets
what
bored.
kind of neighborhood did I walk into? This peacock has a slightly off-shaded blue.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just going to wait till something better comes along.
Okay, we're going to talk about this forever. So let's actually just move on into our first memory about how we met.
Okay, so wait, we need to set everyone up for this. So context. We have very different recollections of when we first met. And we're talking about like the first time that we met and actually had a conversation. So we figured what better way to start off this podcast than, or like what better way for you guys to get to know us a little bit more. Just recollecting our own personal memories of when we first met from our perspective. And you guys can tell us what you think.
I mean, I don't know how they're going to tell us what they think. They don't know our story.
Yeah, so we're going to tell them. And then you guys will let us know what you think.
About what?
About who you think is right.
That's a good... I mean, how would they know who's right? That's what I mean, like... You
guys were there.
Anyway.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, yes. So my version is obviously correct. Because if we talk about...
Be sure to take your time. Tell a story. Because we got a lot of time.
All right, cool. Yeah, sounds good. All right.
Sit back. Relax. Tell them how beautiful.
Shush. Oh my God, you're so annoying sometimes. All right, so... Okay, first time I ever saw Sam was in an elevator. I stepped in with these two other guys that I was working with. And there was this, like, girl there, right? You know, I was just like, I was hungry. I didn't eat breakfast yet, and I was just like a starving university student. I had picked up a job. It was the worst job ever. Would never do it again. But on the elevator, there was this girl who was just like, like super pristine, like she's going on her first day of work. And like the guys that I were with, I was not huge fans of them, but I had to work with them. So let's keep it like cordial, right? And they were like, oh, wow, like, she's so, like, pretty, like, she's so hot, blah, blah, blah. And then in my head, I was like, that's the type of girl you would take home to your mom, right? Like, you would marry this type of girl. I have never talked to her at this point, so who knew if that was true. But
I love that that's the first impression you have of me. I'll take her home to my mom.
No. I'm saying that you are the type of girl that you would take, sometimes you see a girl and you're like, I would never bring you back home. But I'm sorry, that sounds terrible. I did not say that. You said that. Okay.
No,
anyway, stop cutting me off. So we get to the floor where we're supposed to have their like big morning stand up with the sales team. We're gonna talk about where we're going and like how we did the day before. And we get into the office, and there she is again. Turns out that she's gonna be a coworker. We actually didn't talk at this point, so just the usual. Hey, this is Samantha. Like, say hello. It's just awkward wave hello, and then we all just went back to get a cup of coffee. And me, super hungry, I microwaved my lunch to eat for breakfast, and it was just like this Korean rice with sausages and stuff. But I poured way too many chili flakes into it, so I was just like, it was spicy. And here comes Sam around the corner looking at me like, ha, and she just laughs. I don't know. She's like, what kind of Asian are you? You can't eat spicy food? And then she just walks away being like, ha, 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 ha. And I was just like, what the hell is up with this rude? Like, why? We've never met before.
That's when you fell in love.
Sure. I mean, first impression, I was like, wow, she's rude.
I thought you said the first impression, she was like, wow, she's pretty.
Oh, no. Okay, that was second impression that you're like, you see somebody pretty in the elevator and you're like, wow, pretty. And then they start talking. And then you're like, wow, that's rude.
So did I just get uglier?
No, you didn't get uglier. Obviously, you have more conversations until you get to know a person. I'm just saying, it was kind of out of left field that you would just insult me like that without knowing.
So literally what you're saying, I saw her. She was hot. She opened her mouth.
No, that's terrible when you put it that way. Yeah. Anyway, but that was the first time that we met. Like, officially, was that you insulted me and then you walked away laughing.
You know what? I love that story. That makes me feel really good about myself, actually.
Why?
I don't know. I just like... I don't know. I feel like one of those girls you watch on TV who's just like making a really, really impactful impression on a guy. And I mean, you're still thinking about it with such emotion till today. So obviously it triggered something.
Yeah, a lot of like confusion and like anger. No. Annoyance? Yeah.
Is that really how you felt?
I mean, I was confused. I was like, why is she insulting me?
I'm sure I said it in a really like caring, like haha way.
No, it was not caring. It was playful. But why would you have been caring to a guy that you had never met?
Because you look like you were going to die.
I did not look like I was going to die.
Did you see yourself? No, there was no mirrors around you. So you were like sweaty and red.
Okay.
And you're like sniffing like... And I was like, dude, this guy needs a friend.
That's so rude. Oh my God. Okay. Well, obviously your version is a little bit different.
So good. Okay, so there are parts of this story that I do remember the same way that you do, but then there's also
memory.
It's not selective memory. It's just one of those things where I trust my memory a lot better than yours because honestly, you guys, like Elbert forgets things all the time. He forgets his keys, he forgets his wallet, he forgets his teeth.
Those are like non-important stuff, like
I think your keys and your wallet are pretty important.
I can survive without my keys and my wallet. I'll get by. I'll find a job out on the streets.
Just knocks on like a random like farm or whatever, being like, hey man.
I'll pick your fruits, bro.
It sounds like the start of a thriller or whatever.
Why does your brain go to a crime thriller? Why?
I don't know, because I love watching true crime.
That's anyway, I'm cutting you off.
Okay, so in my version, I remember getting to the elevator because you got to get into the elevator to get to like whatever floor we were getting to this new job that I got out of university. I didn't work like a general like salary or like hourly job during university. I was doing like content creation stuff. And so I was really excited because I was like, wow, we're going to get some sort of stable paycheck from it. I parked my car. I went upstairs and I like dressing up. Okay. And so for me,
I like how you specify. I parked my car. Like, yeah, my accomplishment straight out of university, 4-year degree. I parked my car.
Hey, it was an accomplishment because there is an art to finding parking. right? You don't want to park too far away from wherever you need to get into the elevator from, and you don't want to park too near either. So there's a nice in between of like where you're parking, and also where we were parking was part of a mall. And so I didn't want to get a ticket, right? So I had to be very smart at like parking in a certain location where they would be like, okay, this person probably doesn't work here. She's just here to shop.
I think you put way too much thought into it, honestly. It was a 30-minute meeting, and then we left.
No, I left my car there.
Oh, okay. Well,
you didn't know because he didn't drive.
Because I was poor.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, you were.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway, I was in the elevator. I was like properly dressed, right? I wouldn't say I was like glammed up or anything, but I looked good, okay? And I know I look good. And please don't touch the wire, because what if it affects the sound quality?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little fidgety.
A little. Here, hold my hand.
Okay.
So I was in the elevator, and this is where our stories kind of diverge, because I don't remember seeing you in the elevator.
Oh, that's because you were standing behind me.
Wait, stop. No. Even if you were standing behind me, I would have had to walk into the elevator.
I can't help it if you have a bad memory.
No. What I remember is seeing one of our colleagues at that time coming into the elevator from the lobby, and I smiled. Like, not like a, ooh, he's cute smile, more like, oh, okay, it's a person smile. I don't remember more than one guy coming into the elevator, and I definitely don't remember you. Are you sure you got into the elevator?
Yeah.
You sure you didn't take the stairs?
I wouldn't. Why would I take like the stairs for 10 flights of? I would not walk up 10 stories.
Okay, I don't remember you in the elevator. So yeah, I don't remember seeing you in the elevator, but thank you so much for being like, wow, Sam was so beautiful in the elevator, because that's what I really aspire to do in life. I aspire to be the person to really like capture attention that way in the elevator. I just stand there and just like mind my own business, look at like the buttons, listen to music, and someone to just be like, wow, look at that. I'm going to take her home to my mom.
That sounds so fucking vain when you like phrase it that way. Jesus Christ.
Anyway, we get to the floor of this new job or whatever that I'm starting at. I see a ton of people in the lobby. Again, I don't remember seeing you in the lobby when I was waiting to get into the meeting room or whatever. Go into the meeting room. It was me and our supervisor, I guess, at the time, just talking to the manager dude. And then he was like, okay, let's get the rest of the team to head in. And then 3 or 4 guys come in. I'm assuming those were the guys that you were with that you didn't really like very much.
Yeah, those guys are idiots.
And also, sorry, if you guys are listening to this,
you guys are idiots back then, and I'm sure you've changed now, and I was not any better because I was also an idiot.
Yeah, so basically, like, all of us were idiots, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because who was smart at 22? Nobody. Nobody's smart at 22.
I mean, I had some world experience.
Oh, okay. Anyway, moving on. So, yeah, all these guys came in, and you know, like, you guys get it. Like, if you're a girl in your, like, early 20s, you're like, the world is my oyster. There's so many fish in the sea. I wonder, like, who I will fall in love with today.
What? Okay.
So these guys come in, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to, like, turn around and, like, meet everybody. Maybe I'll find, like, someone I'm attracted to.
Mr. Number One.
Mr. Number One. Looked around, just shook some hands. And I'm like, all right, I don't see any romance coming from this. And then I remember you. I remember you very distinctly because you were in flip-flops. You were in a red T-shirt. Your hair was, like, really long. Like, you had, like, the coconut cut.
Oh, yeah. I had, like, just come back from a backpacking trip. Like, I was in India and, like, Sri Lanka for, like, like 2 months with my friend.
Yeah, so you kind of look really disheveled.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I don't doubt it. I mean, I did not care about that job.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, I remember shaking your hand, and you had a really nice, like, strong grip. Besides the fact that you look like homeless. But you had a really nice strong grip. And I'm not just like I'm not just buttering you up with this sentence, but your voice really like captured my attention. Because you have, and you guys can hear it, you have a very like sultry, deep surfer boy voice. Say something into the microphone.
Hello, dude. Oh God, I hate it when you say I have a surfer boy like voice because
it's
I
sexy.
hate the idea that I sound like some.
Don't say anything.
Okay.
You'll regret.
All right.
It's a very like sexy, deep, manly voice. So like, I mean, I wasn't like instantly attracted to you because you looked homeless, but I was like, wow, like your voice, that's like, and your handshake, because someone was shaking my hand like a fish, and I hate that. That was like my ick.
Oh yeah, that's gross.
Right?
I
It's
mean,
just
like don't shake the hand if you are not gonna put effort into it.
right? Like, don't shake my hand like a fish, like a wet fish.
Yeah, I don't want to grab a limp dick, you know. Like, nobody wants to just fucking grab a limp dick.
Yeah, no kidding. So that was my first impression of you. And then we get to where our stories converge again, where, bless you, where everyone was outside in like the lounge area and some people were eating. I didn't bring a lunch because I was in that phase of life where I like, money's no object, even though I wasn't making any money. Being like, I can just buy a lunch. So I didn't bring a lunch. Anyway, I was going to the bathroom, which on the way to the bathroom, I would have to walk by all these new dudes eating their lunch. And so here I am, freshly out of school.
Breakfast.
Whatever.
This is like 9 a.m.
Whatever. Freshly out of school. I want to make friends. I want to make new friends. I want to, like get out there, like show my personality. I'm someone who likes to joke around. I like to like hang out with people, and I'm quite extroverted. And so my way of like breaking the ice, because like I'm also kind of insecure sometimes, like all of us are, right? When you're young and you're like, oh, okay, I just want to make a good impression, don't know anybody, I don't want to have lunch alone by myself. So, like the way I break the ice is making a joke. And so here I am walking to the bathroom. I look over to my right, see a bunch of dudes eating their food. And you guys know, like, I didn't really have any of an impression of any of them, except this one guy who looks homeless. And he was eating Asian food. And I was like, oh my God.
Another Asian.
Yeah. And you were eating, like, I knew you were eating Korean food. And you looked like you were going to die. You were, like, sweating. Your eyes were watery. You were sniffing.
Yeah, I did pour a lot of chili flakes in by accident.
Okay, so you agree that so you were in a lot of pain.
No, I wasn't in pain. It was just spicy. And spicy does not mean it has to be pain.
No, but it's like great pain. It's like you're eating bulldog noodles and you're like, this hurts so bad. But you're like, I'm going to keep eating it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Basically like crack cocaine at this point when like, yeah, that spiciness.
Yeah, it's so good.
But you, anyway. Oh, you can talk.
Wait, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that for people out there who are listening, if you are nervous and you want to make friends, maybe you should just start with, wow, what are you eating? Instead of, wow, you can't handle your spiciness, hey? Haha. And then just walking off.
Okay, so let me finish my story.
Okay.
So I immediately felt kinship to you because A, you're eating Asian food and you had a really sexy voice. And you were also sitting closest to the hallway that I was walking to, right? I'm not going to like go into where the coffee machine was. And so this was a really easy in and out for me. So I walk by and I'm like, something in me is like, you know what? This guy, like, let me just talk to him because he looks friendly. And so I was like, oh, you can't handle your spice?
Yeah, okay, so there's no difference in their versions there, so you admit.
No, but the intention behind it.
Well, how am I gonna know the intention?
Yeah, but it's important to know is that the intention of me saying it was to start conversation. So I would be like, oh, can't handle your spice? What Asian are you? Yeah. And you would then go, oh, ha, 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 ha. Well, I'm eating this.
I don't honestly. I don't remember responding to you.
You didn't.
I did?
No, you didn't respond to me.
Because it was insulting.
Okay, let me tell you guys how he responded, because I remember this quite clearly.
You just said I didn't respond.
No, but your body language.
Oh, okay.
And if you know Elbert in person, you know that it's very, very easy to tell how he feels. He's really bad at masking his emotion. So if he's irritated, you will be able to tell that he's irritated. Anyway, after I said that, expecting some sort of response and be like, hey, like, want to try a bite? To which I would have responded, nah, I don't know you, so I wouldn't eat out of your spoon. Which is a great story for later on, actually. Anyway, he just, like, looked up. Wait, no, he was like, he stopped chewing, he looked up, he shrugged his shoulders, and then he went back to eating.
Yeah.
Which is a very
It's like-
Elbert response.
What do you say to a girl that just comes out of the blue and just insults your whole heritage?
Insulting your heritage.
And what kind of Asian are you?
I was just insulting you.
Oh, okay.
And then with that response, I think I just kind of went around the corner, got a glass of water, and started talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah. How did we end up together, actually?
I remember how we ended up together. Because, like, after that interaction, I was just like, whatever. It's okay. He's, like, not into...
Just some homeless dude.
Yeah. He's not into making friends. Maybe he's shy. That's fine. And then I just kind of, like, ended up working on a daily schedule with, like, the girls, mainly. Until one day, I think... I couldn't find a partner, and so I was about to pair up with like any of the guys who were available. And then I remember you were waiting with the guys at the elevator, and you just looked at me and you're like, "Do you have a partner?" And you were just like, let's just work together today." And that's how we.
You were my out. I didn't want to work with those guys.
Anyway, I looked over and I was like, I didn't want to work with any of those guys either. So I'm really glad you asked me.
Yeah. I saved you.
You did actually, because if not, I would have been alone or with like one of them, which would have been really awkward.
Yeah. Anyway, that job just terrible.
Just terrible. Let's stop talking about that job. But
I mean, we should probably talk about it at some point in the future about like
what not to do.
have some integrity when you pick up jobs.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's hard, especially if you're young and
you gotta pay rent and
you
stuff.
gotta pay rent and you just want experience.
At that point, just do whatever you need to make rent, man.
You know what? We got something out of it. We got something out of it.
Yeah, us. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a freaking marriage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
marriage.
Married the homeless man.
Okay.
And you married
Just
married
another
the lady who
jab.
insulted you.
Just getting poked.
I love you.
Hey, I love you too. Anyway, slightly burnt toast. That's
Slightly
what I'm
burnt
becoming
toast.
right now.
Yeah. So I think we can agree that for the most part, our stories are quite similar.
Yeah, I think we have the important parts like nailed down in like our memories, so we know that, you know, we didn't make up some crazy shit.
No, we had quite similar like experiences with each other.
Yeah, but I think this is like an important segue into like talking about memory in relationships where memory is super duper inaccurate. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Like remembering important dates and stuff?
No, not okay. Like important dates are not that hard to remember. If any guy or girl out there forgets their partner's birthday, and just like, oh no, that was so hard to remember, just put it in your fucking phone.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
that
I agree.
hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like write it down somewhere. But I'm just, thinking of that first date or somewhere else you go to. Well, I'm not getting super specific about this. Like over time, your brain will start filling in random gaps and making up details.
Right. Like based on any like biases you have or like what you hoped would have happened. Like you're just recreating your memories or like filling in the gaps with things that might have not actually happened.
Yeah. And I guess one thing that's interesting to me thinking right off the top of my head right now is, those stories you hear about people in relationships where they saw so many red flags in hindsight, but then in the moment, their brain was just like, I'll just ignore it. That's not a big deal. I'm in love.
Yeah, yeah. And without going too deep into this too, right? Because we do want this podcast to be insightful, be conversational, and be, I guess, informational to some extent. But it's definitely like we're not relationship experts
No.
at all.
We do have a psychology degree, though.
Like it does anything. I mean, no, it provides us insight into why people do certain things. But I wouldn't say like we're counselors or therapists or... Basically, don't listen to us for any concrete advice.
We don't have medical advice for you.
Absolutely
or psychiatric advice. We just have life advice.
And just purely from our perspective too,
Yeah,
right?
like it could be wrong. So
Totally could be wrong. Yeah, totally could be wrong. But just having conversations and always open to you guys leaving questions, right? And I say that like I'm asking a question because we're new to podcasting and everything. So I know people send in questions. I don't know how you do that just yet, but if you have questions or things you want to add to the conversation, that's something we would love to see as well.
Yeah, and I'll just coin the phrase right now, unless someone already did, because I don't listen to podcasts, but cast your pods at us.
That's so bad.
I thought it was good.
Aw, it's not that bad.
No, you know what?
Don't be
No,
sad.
it's fine. It's fine.
What were we talking about, actually?
Memory. Memory
yeah.
and relationships.
But you were talking about like how someone can see a ton of red flags, but they're just so in love, and they just like choose not to see it.
Yeah, and there's that saying, right? Blinded by love.
Blind. That TV show, Love is Blind.
That show is so stupid.
Well, yeah. Anyway, that's a story for another podcast. But no, I totally agree. I think our upbringing and social expectation, but also experience, and also how you feel about yourself as an individual can definitely affect the people that you are attracted to, right? To a certain extent. Without going too deep into it, I do agree that perhaps sometimes we're so blinded by love or the idea of what love is with all the rom-coms and K-dramas you watch out there of what you think romantic relationships could look like, that you see red flags, but you choose to be like, hey, I can change this person, not a big deal, and then just choose not to see it until it's a bit too late.
Yeah, anyway, I'm only bringing it up because I'm pretty sure I had a whole bunch of red flags. Just looking homeless, wearing flip-flops to an office meeting.
Oh my God, you guys. Okay, so I need to share this because this is something that I noticed, but Albert probably is going to be like, I don't remember this happening. But the first time I met him, he looked homeless. But as we started to get to know each other, you know how like when you're having a crush on somebody, you do a little tiny things to, I don't know, get their attention, or like you dress a little bit better, or you like try and talk to them. And I remember during one meeting, I guess the guys came in like a little bit more dressed up, and you were like in a suit.
Was I?
Yeah, you were. You wore like a blazer suit. It was like one of those, I don't know, they requested everyone to dress a little bit more formal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was I going to another job interview?
No. You're like, I'll just wear this for this and then kill two birds with one stone, and I'll just go for another interview.
No. Wait. I don't remember wearing a suit.
Okay, anyway, I remember you wearing a suit. I remember walking in being like, oh, the suit is way too big for him. He needs to get it tailored.
Yeah, because I probably had like one suit from like ages
You did.
ago.
It was the gray one.
Oh, yeah. I was too skinny for that suit.
Yeah. Now you filled it out. Now you're now.
I got chubbier.
As we were figuring this podcast out, I have something in my notes that says section for a game, ? Or like we take a shot every time we disagree, I guess.
If we played that game, we would have died.
We wouldn't have. We would have gotten really
like
drunk, but
20
we wouldn't have
times.
died. Okay, maybe not take 20 shots, but...
Okay, anyway, this game still needs to be fleshed out.
We have no idea. So if you guys have an idea, let us know.
What she said.
What I said, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta agree with your partner. Especially when it doesn't matter.
Hey.
No, it matters. I'm sorry. Sometimes I say things without thinking, and it comes out wrong, and I apologize for that.
Thank you. This is a green flag. He apologizes when he knows he's wrong.
Yeah, I think it's important as people of both genders to recognize when you're being stupid.
Totally. Yeah. I like that. I agree with that. Yeah.
verbal gymnastics. Practice that skill so you can backtrack whenever you need to.
It's our first take at this. If you like our energy and you want to hear more fun stuff from Slightly Burnt Toast, do give us a follow. And we're going to record and publish podcasts every week.
2 weeks?
Question mark? No, every week. Let's do every week.
1 to 2 weeks.
Every week.
I have other responsibilities.
Every week. We're gonna publish a podcast every week. So give us a follow. If you are on social media and you like fashion stuff, feel free to follow me. I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Samantha Sito. Elbert has explicitly said, I don't want to share my social handles. He does have Instagram. But
never post anything.
It's all of me. But he said that, you know what? If I start getting random follows on Instagram, that's how we know our podcast thing is working. So if you guys want to fuck with him, if you guys want to fuck with him, find his Instagram and follow him. It'll be so funny.
This will be like the easiest treasure hunt. Where could Elbert be?
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Have a great week.
All right. And stay slightly burnt.
Stay slightly burnt.